What inspired you to start this journey? I was just sitting, walking, doing whatever one day, and I decided I wanted to learn. Well, I've always wanted to learn linear algebra. You should watch my full video on YouTube about learning linear algebra, where I explain this more in depth. But I always wanted to learn linear algebra. I dropped out of college, and I've always sort of fantasized about getting into higher math. Linear algebra I know is important for some concepts in machine learning and other ways of understanding the universe. And I hadn't taken a math class in a while, and it was uninspiring. I'd considered signing up for community college class, signing up for a Coursera course, doing something like that, but it's not really inspiring. And I what inspired me specifically was the deep research function on ChatGPT. I forget what it was. I put something in. I said like, "Oh, I have X amount of days before this exam." I was helping a student out. How do you recommend I study? And I realized ChatGPT deep research was great at setting up a curriculum, and I hadn't heard of anyone ever who had tried to set up a curriculum to learn something as complex as linear algebra, especially in the very short time span, like 30 days, which I did. And so I just like the challenge of it. And I've been learning with AI, I'd say, since the day that GPT-3 came out. I was amazed by that. Obviously, the first thing people were doing was making silly poems and messing around with all sorts of stuff, just playing with it. And I was afraid that it was this work replacement tool at first, AI, but as time went on, I've realized it's more and more like my TA when I'm tutoring. It can provide really, really good assistance and I as a tutor, with someone with 15 years of experience, really strong intuition as a teacher, and a lot of science behind the methods that I usually employ to teach, can guide it pretty well. And yeah, I wanted to do the challenge as the short of it. How long have I been using AI for learning? Yeah, since a couple of years now. But for this is my second month of doing designated curricula on AI and live streaming it 1 hour per day, which has been a really nice thing for me. I'm always really pumped up after I finish live streams, and I'm really bummed on the few days that I haven't live streamed. I feel guilty about it. And yeah, so I got into linear algebra just because it seemed like it'd be hard, and if I could learn linear algebra, I could learn just about anything.